Ew, John, you drinking that eggnog?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry I said ew. That was
You're
really
drinking
rude.
eggnog?
He is.
It's that spiked eggnog, baby.
Alcoholic eggnog.
I mean, I'm
It's got
drinking
bourbon and whiskey and what's the other thing?
I don't know.
tequila, and it's actually you're actually
Ew.
drinking a Long Island iced tea, but we call it eggnog.
Some jungle juice.
Some fucking riot punch over there.
Looks like Long Island rice tea.
Heyo.
Are we ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Man, what do I say again? It's been so long. Hello, lore heads, and welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're talking about the yordle gunner Tristana, who was released February 21st, 2009.
Damn. She's fucking old.
Don't tell her that.
Classic yordles.
Yeah,
so
right.
old.
Sure.
Nico agrees.
Nico does agree.
We're going to be hearing that noise a lot in the background
Just
in this
yelling
episode.
at us. I don't
He's
know
in a
why.
mood.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe he hates Tristana. I don't know.
Right?
Wow.
Her firecracker skin is kind of cat-like. Maybe he's jealous.
Oh, I thought it'd be like firecrackers, scare cats. I don't know. Whatever.
That too, I guess.
Yeah.
It's good to be back, though.
Yeah.
Sorry we
Yeah,
disappeared
right.
for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We're
it's
back and
okay.
better than ever.
Yeah.
Upgraded.
No promises.
Refreshed, recharged. Not sick.
And
Yeah, that's true. You were sick that one week. We were going to come back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It fucking sucked. It's okay though.
yeah.
Kids, huh?
Hey.
Yeah, I want to tell you.
All right. What does Tristana sound like? We starting there?
Sure.
Mark's high energy today.
Perfect for Tristana.
in my
Can't wait for this
defense,
impression now.
I had to haul a bunch of fucking wood today.
It's that time of year
I
when
got my
Sarah
firewood
makes you
Yeah.
bring wood
I
everywhere.
didn't have to chop it, but I did have to haul it. I'm fucking beat. And Tristana sounds like, who wants some? You want some? Come on.
Nice. That's the first quote I think about with her, because that's what I hear when she jumps on me, and then I die.
I don't want any.
I didn't want. No, I don't want.
Ma'am.
I'm Lulu. I don't know what to do. Also, Mark, I gotta say, with your hair and a button-down like black shirt, you kind of look like a pirate.
You are giving pirate vibes.
It's like mad pirate vibe, and I love it.
You're rocking it. You need to get your horn out. Drink out of a horn.
Well, I'm not getting my horn out, not on camera.
Okay. We've already talked about him hauling wood and taking out his horn. It's a real horny for Mark
Right.
episode.
You take a break and shit just gets weird. It just gets fucking nuts.
It's true. All right. I hate when I do an impression because it sounds so good in my head.
It's going to sound great.
You know, and It's Always Sunny when Dennis comes out with the British accent. Stop, Charlie.
I like how you like prepared
That's what I said.
and then immediately had to like, okay, but here's the thing. I hate British.
It's going to be bad.
Let me qualify.
Because it's just, I hear Tristana in my head and then like some stupid bullshit comes out. Oh, God. I'm trying to hear
You can do it.
still. I hate that we started doing this. Can I just say that? I dread this every episode.
Weren't you suggesting that we do an episode where we just go make up all the impressions that we
Yeah.
missed at the start?
You're right. But my hope was that I'd get just like shit-faced drunk right at the start.
Oh, you're not already? Because I'm hitting it.
No, I have a glass of wine, but it's a rosé. It's not very high
Getting
alcohol.
hammered.
Yeah, I don't have a 4 alcohol eggnog like John does over here.
Not all of us can be John.
The quad dog.
A cannonball is the best icebreaker.
That's good.
very good.
You always get so nervous and you always nail it.
No, I can nail like the lady.
Such a horny episode.
Right.
All right. Please allow my canon and I to conflict resolve.
Good too. I thought you were gonna do one of her little singing quotes. Where She does a
Oh.
little ba, 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 you know what I'm talking about?
Bandle cities or Bandle Gunners,
Gunners,
1,
what
2,
you
3.
Sarah just smoking victory.
Shoot and shoot and shoot, shoot, shoot.
You play Tristana. She's like one of your mains.
I have the noise real quiet.
I thought you were gonna do. Is that a rocket in your pocket? Because I mean that's.
No, I've got that quote later, so
That would be-
I don't want to double up.
Is there a game?
No,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I was debating though.
Ooh.
It was very
Okay.
close.
What was it gonna be?
Yeah, I'm
Tristana or Duke Nukem?
It was gonna be Tristana and Jinx because the two have a surprisingly similar fervor for their guns.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
It's just that Jinx was too hard to find singular gun references.
That's true.
Sure. Yeah. That's fair.
But their zeal is very similar.
They
I
both
could see
name
that.
them, honestly.
Yeah.
think about
Yeah, they're really like on opposite ends of like the shooting people spectrum.
Yeah, Tristana does it non-lethally somehow.
That is
in every
so weird. Can I just say that before we even get into Tristana, she shoots a lot of people and they're all fine. It's very cartoonish, but less
Right.
violent somehow. Why can't Yordles murder people except Teemo?
I have a
kidding.
note about this. I definitely feel like there was a style guide given early on that's like, hey, if you're in Bandle City, you are whimsical. No murdering allowed anymore.
You can murder people whimsically.
Well, they kind of do in the short story, I will say. It is super Looney Tunes. I kind of like it because it reminds me of like when we did Nico, and Nico had a story that was like very funny, but I thought got a little too... It was like a little too grim in its the resultant murders, etc. And it's like, oh, this kind of detracts. And I feel like if they did something like that with Tristana, I would have that same feeling. But yeah, I like that someone set that. Someone set that line in the sand and said, "You don't murder people when you're a yordle. You just
Unless
hit the
you're
bat."
Teemo.
Or
Yeah.
canon.
Yeah.
Canon's not in Bandle City.
Yeah,
so I guess
exactly. It's got to be
different.
Bandle City.
yeah.
And they never went back and redid Teemo. I'd be willing to bet if they redid Teemo now,
He's not
going to
be a murderer.
because all Teemo in current cinematics is just getting ready for parades and shit.
I know he's like
Yeah.
collecting pets, but secretly.
Yeah.
All right, it's a classic Rebecca has no notes episode, and I'm gonna try to wing the Tristana bio. Yeah,
by Anthony Reynolds Lene.
by Anthony Reynolds Lene. Oh God,
I hope you're not looking at my notes for help.
I know it is. Tristana, normal yordle in Bandle City, except she liked to travel about. But I think just like people watching is what she did for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
She was she did observe a lot of military strategies and whatnot from the sidelines, which does come up later as she comes across one day a very dark evil wizard. Do we know who this is?
I don't know.
know.
A sorcerer wreathed in dark energy.
Yeah, that's all.
It sounds like a Malzahar type thing, but but it wasn't in the void, and she specifically has another interaction in the void, so it's probably not him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to say too because like in the bio she's just really old. She's been around for forever, like many yordles, right?
Yeah.
So this could have been This could have been a rune mage. I was gonna actually have us postulate who
Yeah.
it could have been, but
It felt like Rune War era to me,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they specify.
It's
But
just
it does seem like it
Gargamel.
was kind of a while ago.
Well, I'm gonna guess it is whatever sorcerers blew up the land around Skarner's place in his
Oh.
original lore.
Maybe.
oh, in the original lore, like okay,
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, anyway, this mage closed up is it a Bandle portal? Is that what they're called? What
A
were they called
yordle
again?
portal.
Yordle portal? Okay, they were not called Yordle portals, Mark.
What they
That's
should
probably
be
what they
called
were
that.
called in the original Yordle lore. The Yordle portals to Yordle land.
TFT has yordle portals, just saying.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really? Someone at Riot caught on to like that wordplay. I like that.
But it was a bandlewood, which grows around
Bandlewood.
portals.
Oh, okay. They didn't really like clarify what the fuck a Bandlewood was. They just said that the sorcerer like destroyed the Bandlewood and the effects were felt throughout Bandle City. I assumed it was a portal to Bandle City.
Yeah.
It like closed and it can't be reopened now. We don't know how many of those there are, but it seems like kind of a big deal that someone can just seal one.
By
yeah.
burning a tree, that shit happens all the time.
Yeah, anyway, Tristana kind of just stood there and watched it happen because she was very scared, and she really beats herself up for this. And you know what, Tristana, it's fine. What were you gonna do? It's okay. You didn't even have a gun yet.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
Yeah, but anyway, she now has deemed herself the protector of Bandle City, particularly the Bandle Woods. She wants to make sure that they never get destroyed again, not on her watch. So she, comes up with this like military routine for herself, like this strict bedtime and wake up time. It's like one of them. She kind of like militarizes her life a little bit. She gets her big gun, Boomer, which is non-lethal, as we found out. And now she's kind of become famous in Bandle City. She has a little following now. The Bandle, what are they called? What are they called? Her little troops.
They could be called the Megling Gunners, but we don't. They're probably not.
No.
I think they just say the Bandle City Gunners, right?
Bandle City Gunners. Yeah, you had said it in the song. She doesn't seem to like them, but she kind of runs away from them, and they just follow her around. That's what it seems like. And she is kind of training them to help protect Bandle City. Basically, Tristana created the army that exists in Bandle City, I suppose, and runs it. But she is just on her own now throughout the world.
She created the world's goofiest army.
She did. Yeah. That's kind of where we left her, it sounds like.
Yeah.
We get some stories about, people that she has stopped from hurting Bandle Woods, including a void creature, which is interesting. You don't usually get mentions of the void elsewhere, but...
Yeah. And, apparently she's an effective weapon against the void.
Yeah, I guess
Kaisa
so.
should call for her help more often.
Even though she's non-lethal. I don't know how that happened, but...
You can murder void creatures. That's the little asterisk.
That's true.
Like, you can kill
That's true.
void creatures
You
or
can kill
monsters
void
or shit.
creatures.
It's like Poppy when
if
she
something's
squishes
pure
wolves.
evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she squishes wolves. I don't know if you could kill dogs is on the same level as voidlings.
Well, it doesn't say specifically I can't do it in the rules.
There's nothing in the rules that says dog can't get killed by a yordle. But yeah.
I like that she started calling her food rations and all that shit. It reminded me
that
of
was one.
It reminded me of like every fake militia, like Second Amendment misquoting like Neil Force 6 stewed in America.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like the Ren Fair guys who like do the actual factual like camp part of it. Like they don't do any of that bullshit. Like Milord, they go.
No, they're cool. Yeah.
But yeah. I like the bio. It's I think I liked it. So I was reading through it, and I will say first off, I there have been so many times where we've done yordles, and I forgot to like mentally prepare myself. It's like, oh, it's a yordle. There's gonna be nothing here, and I did that this time. And I was like, wait, I had the inverse reaction. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm scrolling, and there's still text. What the fuck?
It's actually been updated.
I know, right?
There's 2 stories.
2.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say that was on the Riot Universe. But God, I'm so rusty. Riot Universe page. She has a bio. 2 short stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was reading through it, and I got to the point where it was like all of that changed when I was like, oh man, what tragic shit is going to happen to Tristana or whatever. But the fact that it was just them closing the Bandlewood or I don't know, killing the tree, it's like, oh, okay, that's a nice motivator, but it's not too like over dramatic or tragic or anything like that. It feels nice.
Yeah.
And
She didn't watch her
appropriate
family
for her.
get murdered.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, who knows, right? She watched some yordle, maybe. I could have easily have seen it being like she watched Vigar get tortured or some bullshit, right? Like,
oh my God!
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
She saw that shit Mordekaiser did to him.
Mm-hmm. So
Through a pierce in the veil.
yeah, and I like the
Yeah.
idea of her having a bunch of tag-alongs. I would like to see them get a little. I'd like to see a story from one of them.
Yes,
I think that'd be very funny.
Same.
Yeah, we got the Timo tag along stories. I want the Tristana ones.
Yeah, for sure. That
Yeah.
would be great. I really want to know more about just yordles in general, but a yordle who would like leave home and follow Tristana in a group. Like, I need to know that.
Yeah, well, it makes me think. It made me kind of realize we don't really see a lot of stories from the perspective of yordles who aren't champions, and all the champion yordles leave the Bandlewood. There's not like a yordle who's mostly chilling in Bandle City. So it'd be nice to see kind of like any one of those stories that's like a boots on the ground, like not actually about a champion type, might be fun to do with that or something like that.
But we're not going to get stories anymore, I guess. So
Well, we've got a few cinematics of a random yordle leaving Bandle City, so
That's true.
something. It's the best we're gonna get, probably.
I'll make it up in my head, and I'll be entertained by that. Oh well.
that's called fan fiction.
Oh fuck! That's what it is. Yeah.
I like that they kept Rumble having a thing for Tristana.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
Oh, yeah.
He creates like little makeshift guns for the people who love Tristana because he's trying to, it's like boomer replicants, but none of them are as good.
Yeah, maybe that's somewhere they'll go with him later if they ever. I guess they won't ever come back and update his shit. Whatever, it's fine. But
maybe one day, Mark.
Someday.
No, that's okay.
I feel like one day I'm gonna go to the Riot Universe page and it's just like not gonna fucking be there.
I know.
Man,
that's gonna be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about the whole announcement that got made since our last episode, where they're starting over again. We've been here a few times now, but everything moving forward is canon, and everything in the past, who knows? But Arcane is canon.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Mark's thinking.
I did wonder if that would happen. I think way back when we started doing this, I did wonder if that would happen. If we would, but I was like, no. I feel like they've, they haven't even. There's so much they haven't updated yet and haven't figured out. But
yeah, it sounds like a lot is still up in the air about like what they're gonna do with the current stuff that's still there. But they're kind of like they wanted to clarify that like moving forward, they're gonna be more careful about making sure the canon is all consistent.
Yeah. It's going to be important for the
and
MMO.
Cinematics are also going to be, they're going to make sure that those are in line with canon, and those are going to be, rather than some random weird fight that doesn't make any sense, like they're like, these are all sense. Canon. They want to make sense. But they're not going to do short stories for new champs anymore, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Which is such a bummer.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Well, anyway, Tristana, right?
Tristana.
Short stories.
I liked Tristana's stories, speaking of.
Yeah. Man, this could have been its own episode, us talking about that.
Yeah. Well, maybe it could be. Maybe we can get drunk and
we'll
complain about that some more.
Why do we have to get drunk for non-regular episodes?
I don't know. I guess because there's not like a lot to remember. There's not like I have to like, okay, this is all the thoughts I had to collate about Tristana. It's just like emotional venting.
Yes, you want to. I need to break down my walls, and the only way to do that is with alcohol.
Cool alcohol, right? Yeah, y'all didn't have anything else on the bio you want to?
I don't think so. It's cute. It's kind of what I expected without knowing much about Tristana, which, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess it's like I saw. It was like there, like we said, there's a lot of yordles who are really underserved, I guess. And I think this bio and the stories really shows like you don't have to do a lot for the yordles to work. You just have to do something.
Which is pretty fun.
Yeah,
right?
They generally have such strong personalities that it's not. I don't think it's hard to get this entertainment across.
Mm-hmm. For sure,
agreed.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, so she got a little color story. I think this is by Graham McNeil. That's what the wiki has credited.
It is.
Yeah. It's called. It's
also
called
did Whispering Doodad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I guess he did. A Quiet Night. That's the title I have written down. Is that right? Okay.
That is correct.
I haven't like revisited it in a couple of days. I was like, did I just write that down wrong? But yeah, so it's just Tristana. She's just enjoying a quiet night at her campfire. She's just relaxing, maxing, chilling, all cool. And then some bandits come up.
Some bad guys outside of.
some bandits show up because they still have the glamour thing going on in this story. So she looks like an old woman, and they come to rob her of her stuff, and she's not having any of that. And so some shenanigans ensue where Tristana shoots some people, but they don't die. Maybe like kneecaps get a little busted and things of that nature, but mostly kind of scares them off, and eventually they all flee, and she's like, well, that was fun. Off to my next adventure, and that's really it. It's a simple little, I guess, action piece for the, but
yeah, but from Tristana's point of view, which is really fun.
Yes,
I really like that, and doesn't one of the archers like shoot one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he might actually have shot himself.
Okay.
Was it straight up in the
someone
air
did
and then
die,
it came back
but
down
I wasn't
later?
sure.
I think it was someone else. So because the setup is that there's two that have come to approach her, and then there are two more waiting kind of in the wings and the shadows. And she shoots one, and it causes that one to shoot in the air. And then the leader, who had been kind of haranguing her at the start, it finally comes back down and hits him in the chest, and I think it's like, and he dies with like an annoyed like grunt or something like that.
Oh yeah, he was like pissed. Yeah, it is very cartoonish for sure. In a way that's like weirdly believable.
Sure.
For like this world, I guess, for a world where yordles are believable.
It's like they were rolling rolling really low that night. They tried to rob that old woman.
We've
That's
all
a lot of ones at that table.
we've all had this. First of all, being deceived by a glamour that I don't even think Tristana seems to have any control over or is aware of, is what it seemed like.
Yeah, that's kind of like the new glamour that they veered into. They moved away from Heimerdinger has some weird ass magical or like some weird ass like scientific glamour onto like the, your eyes just kind of glance off of them or see what they want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in the other story, they kind of posit the idea that like, yordles don't really have control of it, like you said, and don't even know what it looks like to other people a lot of the time. So it's fine. But yeah, like you said, it being from her perspective is kind of fun. Like where it seems like when you're in Bandle City, things are just like completely work differently, and when you're out in the real world, it's like, oh yeah, I've got to eat. This is weird, like, things like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. We get so many little tidbits about Bandle City without knowing fucking anything about it at all. It's so weird. And like, yeah, you did point out before that all the champion yordles all leave Bandle City. It's so strange. I don't quite understand why they're doing it, but
I guess it's like it's hard to write a story about someone who just stays home.
Right?
I guess so, yeah.
It's like
especially in like a utopia. A little, yeah. Like
if Bilbo didn't leave the Shire.
What, you know what? I'd read that in a fucking heartbeat. That's called cozy fantasy, motherfucker. It's fantastic. But how do they join the League of Legends, I guess?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was strange getting all those little tidbits of like, do you not eat? And then like food, she's like, food tastes different here than in Bandle City. I'm just like very curious, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, they fill in some of it in like Runeterra, I suppose. But even that's just sort of like you see just the edges of it, And maybe that's all we need. I don't know. But.
I like, so there's one point in this story where she's just laying on her back staring at the stars. And kind of naming them. You're like, yeah, that's much better than the boring names like the Warrior or the Defender. And anyway, I can't see those ones anymore. Which was a nice little, I think, Pantheon Tarek call out from them, both having their constellations struck from the sky.
I'm going to be honest, when I at first read it, I thought like it was just a different season. And I'm like, yeah, Tristana, like the planet moves.
I mean,
idiot.
It's just different stars now.
I mean, honestly, that's also something where it's like, oh yeah, the stars change like over time out here. It's fucking weird. In Bandle City, it's always just this one cool giant star. I guess the sun.
Just one big star. It's just all Teemo
The
shrooms.
Dark Star.
Yeah, I thought that was neat, honestly. Although I don't remember any details from Tarek about his constellation actually being hewn from the sky. But I guess maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't know. I need to verify that, but we're gonna go with yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
With no supporting evidence.
I trust Tristana.
Yeah, she wouldn't lie to us.
So
she was cooking fish here. It said she had a pair of spitted fish roasting nicely over the flames. She'd shot them in the stream to the west of her campsite with a single, exceptionally carefully aimed bullet from her cannon. And like, those fish must have been fucking exploded.
I would love it. It just cuts to like a head and just no body. Just a chunk. That is something to point out, is that she's in Ionia, she says. And if we recall from like the Sisterhood of War, fishing in Ionia is a huge fucking pain in the ass. So like, she got off pretty easy, I guess. I don't know. She's a being of pure magic. It's probably fine.
Seems like she kind of cheats. It's like when you use bombs to fish in Breath of the Wild, which is how I would always do it, obviously.
That counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It made me, so thinking about that, right? She's being a pure magic. She's in Ionia. It made me think about Zaya and the whole, remember like the magical dampener things they got going on, the Kenon, whatever those things are called.
Oh yeah.
And and I was like, I would really like to see Zaya and Rakan interact with yordles, because yordles are also beings of like pure magic who would probably be super on board with like, yeah, like obviously this is fucked up what's happening to y'all, but also would probably not be into wholesale slaughter of like innocence, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would like that interaction, but
Yeah,
maybe it's
that'd be
me.
fun.
Yeah, I feel this way about every time we do a yordle, is that I want to see them interact with
Non-yordles.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
In a not like fighting way, which is just, we never really get that. Except, I mean, you know, Arcane's canon now, Heimerdinger interacts with a lot of people.
Yes, that's true.
Man, Heimerdinger's got so much more lore than everybody else now.
Right?
Do we have to retire the
Approximately 9
Heimer
episodes
system?
of lore. Oh, shit.
No. But,
This whole fight description, by the way, read to me like Yoda fighting Dooku in Star Wars.
Because he's so little.
and just like flipping everywhere.
Yeah, oh my god, you're right.
holy shit, look at her go.
But they think she's an old lady. I like the idea of like watching this old lady blast off with this giant gun.
Pretty funny. Yeah, why would you try it?
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't know. Why would you try it?
Ionians, am I right?
Yeah, I suppose. At least the Navori, anyway. But
That's true. Yeah, they were probably Navori, huh? Did they say?
No,
No,
there are
they're
a lot
probably
of
just
bandits
random
anywhere you
bandits,
go. Yeah.
Bandits everywhere in all the video games I play. So
Yeah.
sure, you
Like,
gotta level up
so
somehow.
it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, she probably did.
Oh fuck. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's always fun to see them incorporate champion abilities in stories, and I think they just do it in both stories. She's using all of her shit, so it's kind of fun to see.
Yeah, I will say I don't think we get a ton of action pieces as like color stories for yordles.
That's
like
true.
We've gotten a few, I think, but
it's rare to even get a color
yeah,
story
it's
for a
true.
yordle at all.
Exactly. Especially one as close to canon as this one.
Can't,
And
I didn't really have any joke for it. It was just
no, you nailed it.
had to say
You just
the
gotta
word.
say it. But I think this is my favorite one.
I think it might
This
be
was
right.
the most like true to character and
It is,
and fun.
I remember liking the Rumble one a lot, like surprisingly, but it was pretty
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
good. Yeah, I think it's because his bio was so like fucked that it was really hard to like.
I couldn't even. I think his bio was just Rumbles in Bandle City, if I remember.
And he gets bullied by
Oh yeah.
students of Heimerdinger's school in
Right.
Piltover.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's shit like that. So it's just like,
The Yordle Academy.
yeah, which is now
In
canon.
Yordle land. Through the Yordle portals.
Do you want to do the Whispering Doodad?
Yes,
Sure. So I think we've read this 3 times.
it's good.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Draven, Lulu, and now Tristana.
And we should have read it for Ivern too, because I'm holding to it.
That's definitely Ivern.
Yeah, I didn't think we caught it till later, but yeah, I mean, by Graham McNeil, lots of fun to read. Even coming back to it, having read it multiple times, it's still fun enough that I did kind of just read through it anyway. It's like, this is pretty fun. But yeah, there's a glade. Some Noxians show up. It's a warband that Draven is kind of leading, I suppose. He's a member of them, and I don't know if leading is the right word.
He went through a period where he led his own groups before he got bored of it.
Sure, I don't know if he's leading this
period.
one. He's there, having his tsundere like romance with their war mason or whatever, and it's all told from the perspective of some nameless forest spirit, Ivern, who's kind of watching the whole thing. And at the same time that they show up, out of a Yordle portal pop Lulu and Tristana, who are, I guess, just lost. They're trying to get back to the Bandlewood, and they need the doodad that Lulu has, some sort of like key wayfinder thing, whatever, to get back. But Lulu being Lulu, it's lost. It's like it purposefully is hiding from her because her and the doodad are kind of playing a game, and it constantly changes what it looks like. So the Noxians realize they're there. All hell breaks loose. bunch of shooting and the forest spirit getting squirrels to attack, Draven and shit. Just like all sorts of hilarious fucking Looney Tunes, shenanigans. But eventually, they scare off the Noxians. Tristana and Lulu find the doodad, and they back to Bandle City. What sound do you think the Yordle portal makes when you go in or out?
Well, we know what sound it makes.
Say we do
heard
know
it in the cinematic.
Oh.
And that was remarkably accurate.
Sure. But I feel like there's a pop somewhere, like it kind of is like...
yeah.
But yeah, and then that's it. They get out, and Tristana, no, Lulu at the end is like, oh, thank you to the forest spirit. But yeah, it's fun. They're
It's a really fun one.
Yeah. I do feel like, I mean, this is just kind of Bandle City's magic, and I feel like at the end of the day, the answer to all these questions is going to be magic. But like, but I am curious about how the portals work. This just kind of seems to contradict Tristana's whole mission in her bio.
What? There's a contradiction in Tristana's
well, don't worry.
story?
Those won't happen anymore. Never again.
There's no way, right? I can't wait for the first massive contradiction in their new canon.
It's going to be the second thing that gets released. It's going to contradict the first.
Well, Songs of Nunu will be one of the first, and then they'll release some cinematic that I'm like, do you guys forget this in Songs of Nunu?
Something in Songs of Nunu is going to contradict Arcane. Like, God damn it.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Okay, false start. But this time.
This time.
Retcon.
Right.
Fifth time's the charm, everybody.
Universe 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, it kind of seemed like she was protecting the Bandle Woods, which surrounded, and the Bandle Wood was supposed to be like trees that surrounded the Yordle portals. But kind of what we see from this and from the cinematic was like the portals just kind of they seem to work more like Harry Potter port keys, kind of. Just like a random ass thing that you touch and will also be a portal. But then also, apparently there's a key you need to even find the portal, not even to just find it. How are these people, how'd that void creature just find a portal to eat? They have the key?
I'm sorry to say it, but the answer very likely is magic, right? Like, it's attracted to big sources of magic. The portals are kind of whatever you want them to. Yeah, right.
Drove it to.
Speaking of Yoda, right? Links us all together, binds us.
Yoda, Yordle. There's a reason they sound so similar. Yorda.
Yodels. Delicious.
Give me one of them. Yeah, I think that's probably the answer, unfortunately. I don't know about unfortunately.
Yeah.
I just probably I do kind of like more the way they're depicted in here and like kind of in the cinematic. Not even the port key thing, but that they're these random spots, not necessarily a tree, but it could be like a collection of shells on the sea, like on the shore. They're just arranged in a certain way, and when the moonlight hits it just right, it's a portal. And it's that way for like an hour, and then it just kind of, everything's kind of flighty and random in a way like I kind of like, and lines up with how the Yordles are depicted a lot of the time. But
that's true.
Yeah, I dig that.
And I like the idea of it making sense to all of the Yordles. Like, yeah, of course, when this shell is like this and this one is like this, and the moonlight hits it, of course it's a portal.
It makes me think so much of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's like Toontown. Right, it's like
it's got its own rules.
Yeah,
don't make sense to anyone but the people who live there.
Yeah. So,
man,
yeah, it's like I said, it's tons of fun to read. It's really joyful. I like Tristana in this because she's not so much this way in the other short story, but in here she's a little like almost like over serious, like where she's like accusatory towards like the first thing she sees, which is like a rabbit, and it's just like very very serious and self-important about. But even though she's a little like a little goofy, you know what I mean?
Yes, that is a really fun thing about Tristana, and you see it in the cinematic too, is that she's very militant but still a Yordle.
Yeah.
It's just really fun, and it makes her such a fun pairing with Lulu, who is also still a Yordle but also the very opposite of militant.
The Yordliest Yordle.
She's the Yordliest Yordle ever. And they're a really good pairing, and I like that they saw that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a lot more to say. It's kind of gone through the details.
No, yeah,
of it
we've
a
talked
lot.
about this one a lot. Yeah.
Now, the only other thing she's mentioned in is the Teemo story, A Bandle Scout Mission, which is the one where kind of Teemo visits Bilgewater because Tristana mentioned there was a soul-devouring sea worm there, which is kind of like, the prequel to the cinematic. But there's also a short blurb about Tristana in that journal entry. As anyone who spends enough time in Bilgewater knows that the next good gunfight is just one dirty deal away. And no one enjoys a friendly shootout more than Tristana. Friendly, upbeat, and with a cavalier approach to ballistics, Tristana's trips to Bilgewater always end up with a bang. During one of her latest adventures down to the slaughter docks, she got a really good deal on some extra explosive back alley black powder to give her beloved gun Boomer a bigger kick. While her plan didn't exactly backfire, Boomer sure did, and the deckhands were left with one less peer to swab.
Oh, okay, Pier. For some reason, I thought you were saying Pier. Like
I know. At
P-E-E.
first, I thought it was a person. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's fun.
Tristana went to his family directly, feeling responsible to let them know Daddy wasn't coming home.
She tried going to
Why
a
did
21
this old
gun
lady
salute.
kill Daddy?
Damn.
Awful.
Very dark, very quick.
Anyway.
But,
You want to hear about some classic old Tristana?
I do.
yeah, sure.
Well, fine.
Mark's ready to retire.
I read it. It wasn't anything like super. To me, I read it and it was not something that like made me start like busting my ass laughing like I do a lot of times when I read old lore. So like,
I will say there was one bit that did.
okay, maybe I
Ooh,
have forgotten it
maybe
because I
Mark
haven't
missed it.
revisited it.
It was like right at the very end. It just made me chuckle.
Okay, well, that's not busting your ass laughing, John.
That's fair. I didn't bust my ass laughing, guys.
No, your ass is still intact.
It's still intact.
for now.
I didn't even need to look over to know that there was like a predatory look coming my way.
You feel it burning into the back of your skull.
Predatory? Like meant seductive.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Yeah.
fine line.
If there's one thing all Meglings have in common, it's their love of explosions. It's a known fact that 1 in 3 will lose either a finger, a toe, a singe off all their facial hair by the age of 17. In fact, Tristana's father, as a young man, lost his entire left arm during the St. Nitro Day Parade, while acting as the master of ceremonies for the traditional lighting of the dynamite. As a result of her father's accident, Tristana was given much instruction on how to enjoy explosions from a safe distance. So it's no wonder when she came of age, she joined the Megling Commandos and signed up to become a Ruby. The Ruby Bazookas, or Rubies for short, are a crack squad armed with heavy mobile artillery, though they typically work in teams of 2 to more easily handle the awkwardly large bazookas they carry. Tristana has shown an unnatural aptitude for being able to balance and fire her weapon solo.
She took her dad's arm.
Yeah.
Just attached it to like her chest.
Oh, we know your secrets, Tristana. Though armed to the teeth, Tristana is generally very lighthearted and easygoing. And this next bit made me laugh because it sounded like it was just wish fulfillment from the saddest rioter ever.
Okay.
Okay.
Her father's very proud of her and often comes to the Institute just to watch Tristana practice. Just fucking apropos of nothing.
It's very encouraging about Tristana's career choices. Never. I
Never once said you're a failure, get out.
Tristana writes lore for a game that she likes, and her father thinks that it's well done. I didn't read this at all, I will say. Whatever I read was not this. So that is pretty funny.
Oh, man.
A ruby? Why did they? I don't get
Wait,
it.
right,
Is it
the
a reference
rubies?
to something?
I don't fucking...
Ooh.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Got me?
And then she shows up in like all of the Journal of Justice articles we talked about for Teemo, which, just a quick recap in case you didn't listen to Teemo. Issue 13, there was a Bandle City shipment of ale hijacked. that was supposed to be celebrating Poppy's coronation, or appointment as envoy between Demacia and the Yordles. It was stolen, and Tristana and Timo went to investigate. They got there, and it had all already been drunk, and they were not happy about it. Issue 19, the horseshoe heist. Someone stole one horseshoe from all the horses in Bandle City. No one knows who. Everyone was confused more than anything because it was kind of a good opportunity to replace the overdue horseshoes. And then a benefit banquet was held to pay back the farmers who lost the horseshoes, and Timo and Tristana attended it. And they raised more money than needed, so the mayor decided to make it an annual event. And everyone was really thankful for the mysterious horseshoe heister, who we don't know who it is. Issue 23, the balloon burglary. At a semi-annual bake sale for the Tenderfeets, the children had just finished setting up the decorations when all the balloons were sucked into a black hole that could have been caused by anyone. Timo and Tristana were there in support of the org and investigated. And then, unfortunately, after that, there's an exciting conclusion to this where we find out who was responsible for all of those heists. Tristana does not make an appearance in that, so we're not going to be able to tell you who that was. You're going to have to listen to the Timo episode for the exciting conclusion of that tale.
Tune in next week for the exciting conclusion of...
But she does show up in one more. Mailbag of Justice. Rumble's great. I've always been a decent Rumble summoner, and now I ask him this question. Are you able to upgrade Tristy to a less rusted up state? I mean, the League would have to allow some kind of payment or materials you could use to turn Tristy into a real terror on the battlefield. She seems very flimsy when not paired with support. Also, I'm wondering, do you have a crush on Tristana? Just because, you're both from Bandle City and your machine shares a similar name.
Rumble's useless without his
Right?
support.
Classic Rumble bot lane.
I also forgot he named his machine Tristy, so I thought they were talking about Tristana, and I was like, excuse you?
She's so rusted out there.
Rusted? Can you make her better? She needs a man.
Rusted.
Some new hip slang I don't know about.
She's getting dusty
She's getting
down there. She better have a baby quick.
Fuck it, just scrap her.
Well, as you can imagine, Rumble was not happy about this. Tristy, what do you mean a less rusted state? She's perfect just the way she is. I've already had more than one complaint about how strong I built her. It's just like I said, Tristy's real Yordle tech. Even if she could get any stronger, she'd wreck anyone who came within 3 feet of her. And, your second question, I don't know what you're talking about.
Very cute.
Very cute. That's all the old shit, though.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot on the old stuff
Yeah.
anymore.
She's too old for a judgment. And, and that's it.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a second half to that statement, but I hadn't figured it out. So here we are.
It's okay.
You're almost through that glass of Four Loco eggnog that you got.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Now, she's in a cinematic too, which is a great cinematic. It's called Don't Mess with Yordles.
Which we've talked about for every Yordle.
Yeah. Tristina mounts a rescue operation for Tristina.
I need a big,
Christina and her sister Christina.
I need a big alarm klaxon sound whenever you mispronounce something or just say the wrong name or something.
No. My brain's like, do it, rip him a new one. You gotta make fun of him.
Idiot.
Your words.
But apparently my words can't be trusted. So Tristana mounts a rescue for Timo. It doesn't go great. She gets captured too, because she tried to do it alone instead of relying on the power of friendship. Then Corky and Lulu come through and do a real rescue and save her.
Lulu seems like the most overpowered Yordle.
I mean, she does have that mysterious power that no one truly understands,
That's
right? Because she went to
true.
that dark area of
The upside down of Bandle City or whatever it was.
the Bandle Undercity.
Right, yeah. You know, I'm remembering now there was a version of the old Tristana lore where it hinted that her and Timo might have a budding romance, and I thought that was pretty funny. I forgot about that shit till just now. That's all. It's just popped into my brain.
Could still be. Could still be. We don't know what's canon.
Yeah, they seem to like have backed off of anything along those lines. Maybe because yordles are so like kids, I guess, even though they're very old. I don't know.
No, yeah, it's like you can't. At best, you've got like the
no,
little.
No one wants to watch two yordles like be romantic, you know.
I mean, I would think it could be cute.
You can do like flat, you know. You don't want to watch them be intimate.
Well, no, I don't really.
Right? Don't make that cinematic.
They're not gonna, John.
I just in case you were thinking about it, Riot. I don't want to see it.
Somewhere on a whiteboard, the words "yordle sex?" question mark are getting erased furiously.
John does not want.
Like, unless that was what he was saying, but he wants it. Does anyone have his email address?
I think if we just show him, he'll come around to it, right?
We've already put so much time and resources into it.
I feel like we've already talked about this in an episode and I don't remember, but this feels so much like anime when you're like, they look really young and they're like, oh, actually they're like 670 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yordles are weird, man.
Sure.
I'll make an exception for Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
He can get it.
I mean, yeah,
just by himself?
Whatever
That's
they
why he
want to
made
do.
all those robots.
I'm not.
Made all the machines.
They're the creative masterminds here, not me.
Clearly.
So I have some quotes here.
Okay, good.
You're going to love this first one. So, "Here Comes the Boom" is one of her quotes, and it's a reference to "Here Comes the Boom."
Great. I don't know how you connected those dots.
I mean, it takes a lot, but and you know, when you're deep in the sauce like I am, you just piece together shit. I'm like Charlie Day, man.
Sure.
Just
Now,
like,
what's "Here Comes the Boom"?
you don't know that classic Kevin James movie?
Wait, I assumed it was a song.
Me too. I thought I was missing something.
Holy fuck! I've never
It's
seen
a Kevin
it.
James movie?
Yeah.
I think, and now that you've said it,
Right?
I
It's
think
coming
I
back.
know what you're talking
It's coming
about.
back.
Unfortunately, is it the boxing
It's the
one?
boxing one.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I mostly only know it because of that one McElroy podcast that they do where they watch Paul Mall Cop every year.
You sure it's not a reference
It's
to
my favorite time.
literally anything else? It could like.
No, it's that. I'm pretty sure it's
Okay.
that. Yeah, 100%
Yeah,
confident.
it is a boxing one. 2012 though. Oh no, that was the year she came out.
Oh, no.
No, 2009 was the year she came out. So this was probably when she got some.
Well, she got a BO up.
Weird.
Did she not get a
Yeah,
BO
she
up?
got a
did
BO
She
up.
did.
Yeah.
She did.
She did. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, there's also a song. Yeah, by
Is-
Nelly. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna say that's the Nelly song.
You know, you do you.
Or POD.
Oh shit, that's true. Oh, I'm gonna say it's a
It was a
POD.
POD song?
POD reference. Boom! Here comes the. Was that the
Oh,
fucking?
that's that
Yeah.
song. Oh my god.
Was that the theme song of the Kevin James movie? Even
It
probably.
must have been. Surely it was.
If it's not, are we gonna watch Here Comes the Boom
Maybe.
now?
Although
It's not like I
I
have
do
it queued
feel,
up or anything.
I do feel by way of international law, we have exceeded our allotted amount of time talking about Kevin James.
Some big warning is gonna come up over the fucking video.
Like, shut the fuck up about Kevin James and don't even start on Adam Sandler. That said,
Go on.
I know there are ways on Twitch where you can do like watch parties for movies and stuff like that if it's on Prime. So I'm just saying, if Here Comes the Boom is an option, that would be fucking hilarious.
Okay.
It's gonna be our new podcast. We watch Here Comes the Boom once a year, every year.
No, we're not taking the
end of
idea
all
of
time.
the worst ideas of
steal
all
it.
time or whatever that.
It's a different movie, totally new idea. Is that a rocket in your pocket? Is a variant of Mae West's famous quote.
What's that quote?
Is that a gun in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
I'm always happy to see you, honey.
Gun is a penis.
Oh, okay.
Orders are more like guidelines. It's, probably a Captain Barbosa quote from Pirates of the Caribbean. Tristana's pick quote, "Once a bandle gunner, always a bandle gunner," is probably a reference to Arsenal FC, that old football team whose nickname is the Gunners, and their motto is, "Once a gunner, always a gunner."
This is how I can tell that you get these from Wikipedia, because there's no fucking way you have
You don't
any
think I
idea.
know about FC, Arsenal FC?
You don't think he's big into the footy, right?
Ludicrous display. What's he doing and walking him out there?
That's the thing about. I can't remember the full quote.
Whatever, I know, I couldn't think of the exact quote. All I know is, did you see that ludicrous display last night?
And fun fact, in the Italian localization, Cannonball is sung in the style of Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus.
That's
Okay,
amazing.
that's pretty fun.
She has so many skins.
She has a lot of skin.
Yeah.
Silver Age, the Rift's greatest superheroes and most dastardly villains, available at a comic store near you. This is a Rocket Girl Tristana, and she has no lore.
Okay. I was trying to guess which one.
Don't even think about it.
Okay.
Then we got Ages of Runeterra, Bilgewater. Welcome to Bilgewater, where fortunes are made at the end of a gun. Anything you might need can be found at the slaughter docks, whether that be some hired hands, sea monster stew, or the captain who will send you to your watery grave. It says Buccaneer Tristana. Gunners ahoy! Tristana leaps onto the high seas, sailing for new adventures beyond the Bandle borders. The hat's borrowed, stolen, from a pirate she blasted, and the eye patch is surely for show. But her take-no-prisoner attitude and trusty cannon gun have sunk more ships than the most captains in Bilgewater.
Actually, pirates wore eye patches so that they could go below deck and retain their dark vision. Thank you. It wasn't because they lost
That's
their
true.
eyes.
That's Yeah.
So, fun fact, when I'm putting my baby to bed and it's completely dark in the room, I look at my phone with one eye closed so that I can see what the fuck's going on with her when I have to, like, move her and shit. Otherwise...
That's genius.
Yeah.
You'll just drop her, like, outside of the crib.
I can't see...
You think you're putting her down, you just hear a thump and she falls on the floor.
Some whispering doodad bullshit.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Sorry.
Now it's me.
Oh, thank God.
I, like, slammed
actually
that
think it was
death
both
card.
of us. I'm going to be
nice.
honest.
Simultaneously beefing it. Then we got Dragon World. Twice did dragonfire consume the world. Twice from the embers were heroes. Well, I guess that's where I stopped copying that description.
And that's the episode. We're done.
Dragon World, folks.
John does this in, like, the middle of the night.
You know what? This is the podcast theme song, right? This is,
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the most important thing. Well, it should be our theme song. It's just, other champions have their own damn theme song. But this is the one we're playing before this episode.
Is the good one. This is Dragon Trainer Tristana. As the Dragon Slayers fought a bitter war with their nemesis, Tristana was busy with a draconic matter of her own. Deep in the wooded forests, away from the battles, she busily trained a young dragon, a trying task rewarded with lifelong friendship. And fun fact, her dragon's name is Wriggle.
of Lantern fame.
And there's I'm right?
Oh.
Except spelled differently.
Okay, well, fuck it.
Not
then.
to be confused.
How do you spell wriggle?
Well, this one is just spelled R-I-G-G-L-E. The lantern had a W. Yeah, totally different. And there's a short story here, Dragon Trainer's Field Guide. This just has kind of a bunch of tips on how to train your dragon. Tip 123.
I've seen the movie.
But you don't know all of them.
Okay.
There are 234. I gotta go through all of them. Tip 123. Who didn't feed the
223.
dragon? It's 123. What are you looking at? Oh, you're looking at my second tip. I gotta go through the
looking at
first
his
tip
tip,
first,
dog.
honey.
Can't help it. We'll put it away.
Tip 123. Who didn't feed the dragon? An unhappy dragon is a hungry dragon. Feed your dragon regularly to avoid symptoms such as hunger, hanger, and a sudden urge to eat Well, you.
It took her 123 tips to be like, feed your dragon in the How to Train Your Dragon.
She's not a great dragon trainer.
What do you think the other 122 ones? What was more important than feed the dragon?
Find the dragon.
Be the dragon.
Be the dragon. Find the
Drop
dragon.
the dragon. Yeah.
Snuggle the dragon. Tip 233. Your dragon's den. It's a common misconception that dragons like to live in caves filled with gold. They actually like to be outdoors most of the time, unless it's raining, or there's a really good movie on the television.
So it took her 233 tips to be like, shelter.
Well,
So far we've gotten food and shelter, and they took a really long time to get to.
it was the movie, really. 233 to figure out what her movie tastes were.
Okay.
Don't look at me like that.
I don't get it.
What, because you didn't. So, unless it's raining, or there's a really good movie on the television. is what
Oh.
Also,
Sorry, by then I
TVs.
had stopped listening.
Yeah, figured. 234. Your dragon's belly and you. Out in the wild and can't start a fire? Just tickle your dragon's belly for a usually non-lethal fire starter.
You looked at me like, well, what
You
do
got
you
any
guys
smart
think?
shit about
Yeah.
this?
Go on, bitch. What are you gonna say?
Man.
I felt you. You felt my prey eyes burning. I felt your head turn, just burning into me. So I was like, "Don't look at him. Maybe he'll move on."
You say the most when you don't say anything at all. You know, it's just
I was like, yeah, I know.
And that's good
Dragons.
podcast content.
Yeah, dragons breathe fire. Good tip, Tristana.
Tip 357. Face check. Do not point your dragon at or around your face. Refusing to follow these rules will probably almost 100% result in total body death. And then, finally, rocket jump. Time to fly. Your dragon will fire a high-impact flame blast into the ground, sending you soaring away from, or towards, good luck, enemies armed with very sharp, very dangerous pokey things. For smooth sailing, stow all infinity edges before takeoff.
I like a little airline joke.
Yeah, right? It's always a good time for an airline joke. And then we have War is Heck, the Omega Squad one. When the war came, Omega Squad was sent to end it. Now, only one of them remains, a yordle with no battles left to fight but his own. And this one is Omega Squad Tristana. Commander of Omega Squad, Tristana has made it her policy never to retreat, unless she's returning fire the entire way home. She calls it advancing backwards.
Or kiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting one. Tristana has 2 skins in the War is Heck skin line, because there's another skin line that's part of War is Heck, Commando, which she also has a skin for.
Really?
And this is Guerrilla Tristana. The beauty of guerrilla warfare is attacking an enemy that has their guard down, is unfamiliar with the terrain, and doesn't know who or what is engaging them. The beauty of being a 2-foot-tall yordle with a cannon the size of a mastiff hound is that no enemy would ever understand what hit them anyway.
What skin is this?
I forgot about this skin, man. This is pretty old, right?
It's that
Yeah, I don't
Rambo
think I've
skin.
seen it since it's like.
It's remake, because it used to look
Remake, yeah.
so shitty.
Yeah.
Her little glow stick in the old splash.
Now I gotta
whatever.
look it up. 'Cause I forget.
Fucking hell, that's bad.
Yeah,
fun.
it's not great. Then we have Tales from the Rift, which is where Bewitching is.
Oh my god! Yeah. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, don't worry. We'll post a screenshot of this in the video version of this. So look forward to that if I remember. Who said witches can't have fun? Whoever it was, they're probably a frog now, or some other cursed vermin doomed to forever wander the streets, watching the Eve celebrations from afar. Pretty harsh punishment, but what did you expect? They may know how to throw a party, but at the end of the night, they're still witches. This one's Bewitching Tristana. Well, I guess that's one way to hold a cauldron. Which I feel like needs some context on the skin itself, which you hold the cauldron as your gun, and you're shooting from the cauldron. Otherwise, I guess that doesn't make a ton of sense at all. I mean, not that it makes a ton of sense regardless, but...
Sure.
Fun fact about this, Bewitching Morgana and Bewitching Tristana are the ones who ended up summoning Little Devil Timo from the demonic universe.
Oh.
Which then leads to Bewitching Tristana becoming Little Demon Tristana.
Oh, okay. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. So we'll do demonic next. Set in a demonic realm, each champion is a servant or ruler of hell. The little demon Tristana, a witch who is now one of the great queens of hell. Tristana commands a vast army of lesser demons and rules the twin aspects of ruin and woe. Mortals attempting to invoke her will find a variety of tempting contracts, but signers beware. Tristana's ultimate goal is bathing her signatories, as well as the world, in hellfire.
Damn. I got
So
way heavier.
Fuck around.
From some weird cauldron joke. That's really...
That's true. That's one way to hold a cauldron. Now she's the goddess of hell.
And that's why you don't summon devils.
Tristana's dad's arm blows off.
Tristana's dad slightly less proud of her now. But still supportive of her decisions.
She's doing her best.
Trying her best.
Oh, fuck.
And this one is, next up is Definitely Not. Is that a robot in glasses and a trench coat? Of course not. Do your eyes perceive a beast man in a onesie? Better get those eyes checked because they're wrong. Isn't Draven too modest to wear his own head? How foolish you must feel to even ask. And that laser squid, definitely human. Definitely. And this one is Pengu Cosplay Tristana.
Oh. I haven't seen this one.
And the lore for this one
John's
is...
played this.
Yeah, it's fine. Whenever you play your Star Guardian, I try to...
The Pajama Guardian,
Yeah, the pajama one. The lore blurb for this one is... Wah! That's...
Okay.
So,
Moving on.
we got Snowdown Showdown. Better start building that snow fort. This is Earnest Elf Tristana. Known for her warm smile and heartfelt sincerity, Tristana's love of holiday cheer brings joy to everyone. She fiercely defends Snowdown festivities with a ferocious barrage of overstuffed presents. And this one has a Legends of Runeterra level up. Peace on Runeterra and goodwill to even the greenest of monsters. Peace that perhaps won't survive this snowball fight.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah. Then we got The Grind Day Job. It's a living. Firefighter Tristana.
John wrote this one for sure.
Recently featured on this year's Most Yordly Firefighters calendar, Tristana will gladly leap into the flames regardless of whether anyone is supporting her. Often she'll go despite her support. Firefighter support. She fights fires.
Wait, what?
Was this AI generated? Okay. What the fuck? No, I'm reading it again. I can't.
I feel like I had a stroke listening to that. Like,
She snurbly blurbs a blurb a burberd.
I feel like if we ever get to a point where like we're doing some kind of charity stream or something, if we raise a certain amount of money, we agree to get that tattooed on us. Firefighter support. She fights fires.
better be $1 million.
Yeah, right?
That's a hard one to explain. Why do you have broken
That's
English?
the top one that you put on there.
You don't understand. Okay, hold on. You've got to listen to this podcast first, right? Next up, we got The Badge. In the criminal justice system, there are those who bend the law and those who break it. The dedicated officers at the RPD investigate the city's most heinous crimes to bring the worst offenders to justice. These are their stories. And this is Riot Girl Tristana.
Oh, I thought someone was going to do the bum bum.
Such an I thought someone else was going to do it. Yeah. Do yordles only have 4 fingers?
Maybe.
But Potentially.
Most cartoonish characters are drawn with four fingers.
That's
For
fingers. And like maybe she blew one off. She's playing with a firework.
Let's see. Despite the RPD's best efforts to curb Tristana's enthusiasm for vigilante justice, they haven't been successful. Then again, with a combination of determination, moxie, and explosives, she's more than capable of evading the man. Whenever Tristana is off-duty, she can be found at a punk show or passing out the newest edition of her zine, Riot Riot. And fun fact about this one. There in the splash art for this, you can see tons of things in the background. You can see a young wharf rat, a bittersweet Lulu cupcake, a Poro, a Poro Tibbers and a Mumu plushie, Soraka banana, Bard Meep, Timo Shroom, Timo Hat, TPA Ezreal, SKT1 Jax, Fnatic Gragas, and Samsung White Twitch.
Nice.
It's all hanging out in that splishy splash.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
This one's so like early 2000s Tumblr girl. I love it.
Yeah, I can see that.
She has like spork tattooed on herself somewhere.
Oh, you know she does. She's got a mustache tattooed on her finger.
Yeah, there you go.
That's more 20, that's a little later, but
Fuck. Now we got Hextech. Now at the forefront of science and art, Hextech has evolved from its rudimentary beginnings into a modern renaissance of intricate artificial life forms capable of free will. Skilled artificers lead the medium into a bold new future, but what it will bring, none can say. This is Hextech Tristana. Hex-powered munitions have been around since the early days of Hextech innovation, but no one has perfected their use like Tristana. Decorated for her service in protecting the innocent with her Hex Crystal Cannon, the Mark III, she stands at the forefront of martial hex technology as a staunch and noble advocate.
Okay.
she's got like
She
mad
named it
abs
after
here.
you,
I
Mark.
was gonna say the Mark III is a weird name for it. I don't know. It implies there's like a Mark I and Mark II, but I don't know. Whatever.
They didn't make the cut.
Yeah, I suppose.
And then we got a Spirit Blossom. The Spirit Blossom Festival is an ancient and celebrated time in Ionia when the door to the spirit world is opened, the dead return to their loved ones, and spirits of all manner turn their eyes towards the living. From the benevolent Kanmai to the obsessive Akana, their stories play out again and again like shadows on a paper lantern. And this one is Spirit Blossom Tristana. For those that seek glory on the battlefield, to those that look to the spirits for a bountiful harvest, Tristana greets all with a toothy grin. The spirit of chance has no favorites, no obligations or motives. She simply delights in the chaos, the fear in men's eyes at the roll of the dice.
That's kind of neat.
And this one shows up. Yeah, it's neat. She's yeah. She shows up in Set's little cinematic for this one too. This is one where Set's looking for his dad, the spirit of abandonment, who abandoned him, to no one's surprise. And he's just writing a letter to his mom, and it said, "You know how they say meeting the spirit of chance is bad luck? Well, it's a good thing I don't believe in luck."
I also lost the house. I will say it just unrelated.
And that thing about the orphans building houses, I wasn't doing that. So there are no houses left for you, Mom. I'm sorry. And we got a Lunar New Year firecracker. The Lunar New Year has arrived, and so has the party. With food and festivities to spare, it's all about ringing it in with friends and family. Now strike up a match and watch the fireworks. This one's Firecracker Tristana. As the master of fireworks for this year's revel, Tristana has worked hard to create a show the festival goers will never forget. Now that the New Year's here, she's excited to sit back and enjoy the night with her friends. But she's saved some of her best explosions for last. And there's a cinematic for this one called Almost Home. This is the one where all the champions are on a train, all, going home. And they're almost there. Tristana, we see her hungrily looking at someone else's ramen. And Timo offers her a dumpling to eat. But Set steals it like a big old bully. And then later in the cinematic, when everything goes horribly wrong and this train was flying through the sky and then its cable broke and they're going to fall to their deaths, Tristana uses her firecracker rocket to shoot the train back up again, almost to the ledge, just high enough that Diana could use her moon powers to save everyone's lives.
Now this splash, it looks very romantic with Timo, by the way.
I think so.
He's giving her food, and she's got this little smile, and there's a heart firework right above them. It's cute.
That's true. Although he's a family man. He's got a ton of kids he goes home to at the end of the cinematic.
Oh.
Maybe is he just like a...
Well, it's a best friend
he's a
love
single
then.
dad.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
It's all kinds of love.
Yeah.
That's true.
Finally, Pentakill. She's not part of this AU, but in the music video for Mortal Reminder, Rumble was giving her flowers until Sona showed up, and then Rumble tried to pivot and give the flowers to Sona instead when Sona, blew him away. Not in the hot way.
Sure.
I guess depending on what you're into.
Sure, right. Good for him, potentially.
Yeah, shooting his shot. And I've got a handful of fun facts. Not too many. I've got a six fun facts for Tristana.
Okay.
She's voiced by Elspeth Eastman in League of Legends and Don't Mess with Yordles, and by Amber Connor in Legends of Runeterra. She has an unreleased skin titled Arm Canon Tristana, which references Mega Man. Its game files were actually added into the game during the Wukong patch, but it never actually made it to public. And interestingly enough, her move Buster Shot is a reference to Mega Man.
Is that one where, did someone at Riot say, look, I know we do a lot of shit, but this is beyond the pale. We are going to get absolutely sued if we make this.
Probably.
I think so.
That was... I remember right about when that Wukong patch came out, there was an internal email that went around that had a list of a bunch of skins that people were excited about that they had decided, by the way, we're not going to do these anymore.
Oh, really? I might not have been working at the time.
It was super early. It was probably right before you started.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Although we did then go on to release a few of them. Luchador Canon was one of those.
Fuck it. Okay, we'll do this one. Just one little copyright infringement. It's not a big deal. That's funny.
Tristana has the 5th longest possible basic attack range in the game at level 18, right after Kog'Maw when he uses his Bioarcane Barrage, Jinx's Fishbones at rank 5, Twitch when he uses Spray and Pray, and the longest range one, Seraphine, when she has full stacks of her passive.
Oh.
This does not count champions that have theoretically
Unlimited.
infinite scaling.
I was going to say, because
stacking.
it said I could for sure beat all
yeah,
of them eventually, but...
Tristana can attack Baron Nashor over the back wall as soon as she hits level 15. That's what level you need to be to solo Baron from behind. Riot Girl Tristana was one of 3 champs and skins obtainable for free by following the League of Legends social media pages. The others were Unchained Alistar and Dread Knight Garen. And in the old days, that was 90% of our player support tickets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck, I forgot all about that.
I remember that,
Holy
even
shit.
when I was working there briefly. A lot of my job was just giving people Riot Girl Tristana because it wasn't working. And
Yeah.
you just got it if you wrote a ticket.
Do they still even do
was,
that anymore? Do y'all know? That as a free
I
skin?
doubt it.
I doubt it, but they probably just give that skin away to everyone.
Yeah.
I know that so we had an internal player support dev team called the Wolf Team, who was fucking amazing. Shout out to all the Wolf Team if you're listening. But yeah, one of the things they did was just write an automation that would read the email that got sent in, and if they could tell that it was someone asking for any of those skins, it would just give them the skins and just auto respond all right, here you go, so that they never had to come to us.
Sure. Frankly, it makes sense to me that you would just give a skin like that to every account ever, so someone can feel like what it's like to have a skin, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Be fun.
Pretty cool though.
Yeah. But that's Tristana. Does she have any fun Legends of Runeterra stuff? I don't know if you had a chance to look into any of it.
Not really. I mean, I think you could, like I said, you could maybe look at some of the cards that she plays with as her tag-alongs. There's a Bandle City mayor. They have, apparently that's their governance system, is they have a mayor.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock
I'm
into it.
I'm imagining the mayor from like the Grinch movie.
Oh, I was thinking more like Nightmare Before Christmas a little bit, but
Ooh, yeah, I can
Both-
see that.
Both good mayors.
yeah. Well,
Top of their game.
fun mayors, which I think he kind of is. I think he's all pomp and circumstance, but there's not anyone that's like super goofy or tons of fun that like I was like, oh yeah, this is something I gotta talk about. So whatever.
All right.
Well, that's Tristana. Any final thoughts?
She's
neat.
fun. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Get
Good
us a
yordle.
story with a non-yordle. I mean, I guess we got a cinematic with her and a non-yordle, but that was really fun. So give us another one.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening. It's so nice to be back. We have some merch. I don't always talk about that because I forget. We have some shirts and sweatshirts and stuff with some fun designs. It's linked in the description. It's also bit.ly/lorehead merch, I believe. I'm so sorry if it's not. But there will be a link and you can see. I got to order some now. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
I'll eventually just start wearing our own merch while we're recording episodes. We also have a Twitter. It's at Loreheads. I always feel weird. I really don't post on there much anymore, but John will occasionally post clips and stuff.
I post a clip every day.
Yeah. John will post clips frequently because he's the best. We also have a Twitch, twitch.tv/Loreheads. John streams there on Saturday evenings. He'll play TFT and ARAMs with viewers. I generally stream on Mondays. We play some Rift games with friends, although I've been breaking from that for a little bit as I recover from surgery, but hopefully
And I
we'll
did
get back to
Baldur's
it.
Gate instead.
Yeah, John's been doing some Baldur's Gate streams on Mondays to replace me, which is really nice. And we have a YouTube. We also post lots of shorts there and videos of this.
Yeah.
What you're listening to.
Yep. You can see pointed head turns and stares and all.
Oh,
that.
yeah. All of our
that good
staring
shit.
and
The Gorilla Tristana splash, maybe.
if John remembers, Timo's eyes.
Okay, don't go. Actually, don't watch the.
We also have a Discord if you want to find some people to play League with or just chat about the lore or other stuff. You can join the Discord. And we have a Patreon. Thank you so much to all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda tier patrons. Big Man Gnomes, King of Hearts, Mr. Dead, Jennifer and I have bills to pay. Don't tell Bill I have it, though. I think he looks really funny without hair. And because we missed a week, but I noticed that you changed your name, and I'd hate for you to feel cheated, how's your stool, John?
How is your stool, John?
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I could answer that question because you forgot to flush the toilet earlier.
Wow.
But who hasn't done that?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, was it pretty good? Would you agree? Like, it's
I don't know. I try not to look.
On a scale
I
of 1
just
to
saw-
10.
I saw that you hadn't flushed the toilet. And I was like, oh, John forgot to flush the toilet. And then I did.
well, God
It's,
bless you.
it's a
Thank
thing
you for
from
that.
childhood, actually. All right, fun fact here.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's if I go to the bathroom before I plan on taking a shower,
Yes.
I can't flush beforehand because
Yes, because then the water would
growing
be...
up, you would have no cold
Yes.
water for like 10 to 15 minutes.
I know exactly what
It
you're
would
talking
just be
about.
scalding hot. So now I have to wait till after I get out, and then sometimes
Sometimes you forget. No, I've done the same thing. And what I started doing for a while, because I was so embarrassed at the idea of forgetting to flush the toilet and like my fella seeing it and never being attracted to me again, I would rip off one ply of toilet paper and put it on top of the lid. So I remembered when I got out of the shower that I had to flush the
I think I said you put it on top
Thank
of
you.
it, so it'd be like, what's under there? It could be anything.
No! I'm a close the toilet lid person all the time.
You know,
So he'd be like, oh, what's that? I must fish around to see. Gross. I'm so sorry that this is... I hope that most people have stopped listening at this point. I assume that they have. Please join us next week where we won't be talking about... Oh,
If you guys were if you
Where
guys
is
were
this
in
going?
Bandle City and were being attacked by a dark sorcerer, I would jump out and save you. Got it. That was close.
gosh, you almost
Thank
missed
you,
it.
patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
we're sorry. We
Please join us
apologize.
next week. You are really sorry. Where we will not be talking about stool, I promise. We are only going to talk about the Troll King Trundle. Oh, he
There's
probably
probably
poops
gonna be
everywhere
shit.
all the time.
Everywhere.
But Old Trundle, definitely stool talk.
Yeah.